Actually, they were also writing this exam with me.
Acha.
Not only my father and mother, my sister, everyone are like, they are the best people I can ever have. Because
Yeah. So we career launcher, we career launcher Trivandrum is proudly introducing Shwetha Ramachandran, who was one of my mentee. Especially, she has been attending some sessions, and we used to be in regular touch. And in fact, I'm very happy. And the thing is, I'm very happy that Shweta has created a record. Probably, under 10, first time, I'm seeing a student from Kerala. Definitely, that need to be verified. But this is a proud moment for entire Trivandrum and Kerala. As a one of our student, cracked into top 10, and I'm just my take on Shweta after interacting with her. She has been under my mentorship. She's very down to earth. One thing, and she listens carefully. She answers carefully, and in fact, she will actually follow your instructions as well. And when I track the mocks and all, see that. So definitely, this, I think that was a point of difference. Since I've been met so many students, which we discuss and plan and all, but execution is, according to me, is very important. So Shweta is somebody who executes a plan, and in fact, that probably that's the reason why she could get into top five, which I can tell is a great achievement. So congratulations, Shweta,
thank you, sir.
and I'm handing over the session to GP sir. Sir, please.
Yeah, thank you, Midun. So yeah, Shweta. So
Thank you.
first of all, just congratulations again, and
Thank you.
doesn't matter whether you're the first one or not. All India rank 4 in CLAT is something to be cherished, something to be always remembered, and I'm sure everyone in family and around you would be very very happy for you.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. But Shweta, tell me, how did law happen to you? Because law is not something which is a very popular, let's say, because I'm sure around you also you'd see a
Yes, sir.
large number of people going for engineering, and you choose to go for not
No.
engineering medical but for law. What made you think of this?
Yes. No, so actually, I had this ultimate goal of cracking UPSC. So that was my ultimate goal. So I wanted. I was in eighth standard, and I wanted, like, I didn't know what to do. So I knew that people, if they want to do engineering or medical, they have to go for this coaching from 11. So you have to prepare for the entrance of the coaching. So this is a very big thing. So you need to prepare. So I didn't know what to do. So then my father suggested that, see, if you want to do this ultimately, so law is a very good option. So then I just read upon it. I just went through it. Then I was like, yeah, this is a very good option. So then
Right.
then it just went with the flow. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt that if there's one academic program which prepares you for UPSC, it is law. So
Yes.
the 5 years what you study, all of that will be very very useful for your UPSC exams. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So after 10th, what did you take? Science, commerce, arts, and
Science.
why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Yeah. I knew that I had to do CLAT, but even then, actually, my school did not provide humanities, and I was
Oh,
not interested in commerce. And
okay.
so then I just read upon a lot of articles where people did CLAT along with the science stream and all of that. I was like,
Yes.
why not? What if I score very well in science and also I crack CLAT? That's a double achievement, right? So I just took that challenge, and also I was from an ISC board. So so yeah, so I just wanted to continue in my school, and yeah, that's why I just took it. I was like, okay, I'll just try.
Right.
Hmm.
Right. No, there's no doubt. And in fact, once you join NLS, you will. I am assuming you are joining Bangalore only. No, I
Yes,
hope
yes,
you are not. Okay, great. So you find a large number of students from science background there. Okay,
yes,
because as you happen, but I'm sure you should go back to your school and now tell them to at least introduce humanities for
yes,
students like you.
yes,
And now that you
exactly.
have that class, they will definitely listen to you.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. And
Okay.
actually, I'm very happy that at least people will know what CLAT is. And many,
Yes.
like in our school, at least my juniors will understand that you have a career opportunity like this. Because I
Right.
used to go behind my friends because I had no one to study with me for CLAT. So I had since I did not join anywhere in 11th and 12th, I was like, I had no one to guide me and also no one to prepare. So I used to request my commerce friends, ki, see, law is a very good option. I think you should really try so that we can prepare together. But then I was unsuccessful. So I had
Okay.
to do it alone itself.
Okay. So 11th, 12th, you joined science, you tried other things. Along with that, you tried doing CLAT also. But what stopped you from doing a serious preparation for CLAT?
uh, yeah, so one this school thing, I'm interested in this co-curricular activities and all. So
Yeah.
see, my planning was not good. First of all, I did not plan my things well. So 11th, I like really work like everyone. I really worked hard for 10. So I was like grueling for this whole board exam thing. And then my results came. I was very happy, and I was like, no, I have to give myself a break. I'm not going to be very serious with my like studies now, which is a very bad thing. And it
So
like
11th, you had
backfired.
fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun, and then my teachers were not very happy. They are like, okay, you were studying well, how can you stop studying well in 11th? So then like mid 11th, I came back to track. I was like having a lot of fun. And there is this
Okay.
council elections. I stood for this whole school elections. I became the head girl, and then those responsibilities and everything. Obviously you can manage everything, but I was not a good person. I was not efficient in that matter. So
Right.
it just went like that. And then in 12th, I realized that it's very like it's time to just start preparing seriously. So I remember in the beginning of the 12th standard, I was pretty serious because I was practicing like chapter wise. I was doing AR because that was the old pattern. So at that
Right.
point of time, I was practicing AR. I was
Yeah, the
doing
pattern changed in January.
yeah, pattern changed in January. So like in the beginning months of the 12th, I was pretty like I was very serious about this. I was practicing this AR thing, maths. I and the thing is, I planned there will be one or two RC, and I leave those RC because I'm very bad in RC. That was my plan. And I had this word par Meri book which I like did two lessons, and I just dumped it somewhere in 11th. I took it back. I started doing that. But then yeah, I slowly did it. I was doing this old pattern things, and suddenly the pattern changed. And I had
Right.
no guidance. I had nothing. I was like, what am I gonna do? I had nothing to do. So but then when the pattern changed in January and our board exams are like in February and March. So
That's
I
right.
was like, CLAT is done. I can do nothing with CLAT. So one option left in front of me is boards. Then I came to know about this DU. I didn't know about DU and all that. So I was like, okay, I'll prepare very hard. And let's just, I'll leave CLAT. I'll prepare very hard for my board exams. I have to touch 99 only then because I'm a science stream, and if I have to go to DU for arts stream, it will be like minus 2.5. So I have to
That's right.
score very high to get into a decent college. So that was my aim. Then I did everything for my board exam, but then I could score only 96.75. So I was sure that I'm not getting into a good DU college with this mark in art stream. So
Right.
actually, yeah. So again, that broke my heart very badly. And but the result came in July, and my boards were over. Again, I gave myself a breather, and that backfired. I was like very cool. I was sitting at home. I was having fun. It was lockdown period, so we were watching movies. We were getting up late and all of that. Once
So
I okay,
during that lockdown period, you did not prepare for CLAT.
no, I tried preparing for CLAT. My reading improved. I won't say that it was not at all helpful, but then I read a lot. I started doing some RCs. Maybe I was not that efficient, but even then I took that step. I was doing RCs, and I knew that my reading is not that good. My analytical part was stronger because I practiced it in my early 12th standard. So my
Right.
analytical math was good. So I knew that like three sections of the paper is reading, and that's what I'm lacking now. So I did a lot of reading. I did a lot of RCs mainly. So and I did a lot of mocks, but then again I did not analyze my mocks properly.
Okay.
So this what I achieved over like obviously I did not analyze mocks, so I did not know where I was wrong. But the one thing I got was I learned to be patient for those 2 hours, and also I learn to concentrate or like to read for 2 hours. That's what I got. So again, my strategy, like which section first, all of that was very bad. And again, only if you analyze, you know which section you have to do first, which question you have to leave, and all of that. So these two advantages I had in the lockdown period, because just patience in the 2 hours and then reading. My reading improved a bit, I should say that.
So, Shweta, were you as a child in school or otherwise you were not very fond of reading?
I used to read, yeah, I used to read, but then I am not that very avid reader who like consumes book every week. I read. I obviously read from 8th standard onwards. I was reading. I get some books my friends
Okay.
suggested. I read it, but then I have
But
seen
not a
people.
voracious reader.
Yeah, I was not a voracious reader. I can tell you that I have read like these number of books, but then I won't say that I have consumed a lot of books and I'm
Right,
like this. Yeah,
right. Okay. So, if I have to just summarize,
yeah,
in your first attempt, you took CLAT in the first attempt also.
yeah.
After
Uh, uh,
what was your rank?
1,123.
1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, good
Yes.
number. Okay, okay. So if I can just summarize,
Yeah.
1, 1, 2, 3 was essentially because you got comfortable with reading, or you
Yes.
became much more, and you were able to handle the 2 hours well. But it
Yes.
was not sufficient for you to get a good rank because you did not analyze your mocks at all. Because you did
Uh,
not analyze, you did not know where you were going wrong, and
yes.
hence you are not able to improve on those specific areas.
Yes.
But in
Yes.
general, it did help you in building up your reading, patience, comprehension. And I think one critical thing which you said, I hope the students have picked up, this is a 3-section paper, not a 5-section paper. One
Yes.
section is, you said English, you said 3 sections are English, which is
Yes.
English, uh, legal, and logic. All 3 of them in the new pattern are English. The,
Yes.
the next section is GK and fifth is math. So, strictly speaking, what you're telling me, because your reading improved, you're able to handle 3 out of the 5 sections.
Yes.
Because you did not analyze, you are
Hmm.
not able to identify where exactly you are going wrong and you could not improve, which resulted in a rank of 1123.
Yes. Sir, I
Right.
think one more point is there,
Yes.
because I knew that I will have to take a drop, because I did not expect a rank of 1, 1, 2, 3 also. So I think
Acha.
yeah, yeah. Why? Because I think I got that rank because I was not scared, because I knew that I'm going to take a drop and this is like simply an attempt. So the paper was surprising last year. A lot of people panicked, but then I was like, okay, I did not even look at the paper. I got this question, I just solved and I moved on. And after coming out, I was like, okay, that was a normal paper. And
Yeah.
others were like, yeah, I told my mom that it was a normal paper. I don't know what it. But then I heard a lot of people saying that GK was different, and then legal was like this, and QT was also confusing. So, but then I was like, okay, it was normal. So I didn't know anything. Maybe that I was not scared. The first thing, I had no pressure. I had no
Right.
stakes.
Right.
But this time
So
the stakes
nothing
were
to lose,
higher.
so you were relaxed in the paper.
Again, I was very relaxed. So that's
Okay.
what I thought about this like 2 weeks before CLAT. I was thinking, how did I get this rank? I prepared nothing. So then I
Right.
thought and I understood that I had nothing to lose. And that was my mentality. And that's why I got at least this rank. Yeah.
Right. Right. So let's move to now CLAT 21. CLAT
Yes.
20 happened 1123. Not a bad rank, but obviously not good enough to get into a
Yes.
top NLU. Okay.
Yes.
So how did you change? What all did you do in the last 1 year? Not even 1 year, last 8 to 9 months, let's
Months.
say.
Yes.
And what all did you do? How did you? What corrective action did you take? Because a large number of students are there like you who want to repeat, but when they repeat, they don't
No.
get on the right track. So your journey of last 9 months will be very helpful to all the students who are looking at repeating.
Yes, sir. So, so I decided to drop, and my first step was reading newspaper. So I knew the only thing which is going to help me now is newspaper, because newspaper is going to cover my 4 sections, the 3 reading sections and also my GK section. So in the like early days, I knew I was very focused. Actually, obviously, when you see this rank, even though it was like good but not okayish rank. So I was a pretty good student. So suddenly, when you see this 4-digit rank popping up on your screen, even though you knew that you are going to like you are not going to make it, even though you knew, then that actually shook me. I was like, what did I do this? I just wasted time. Actually,
Right.
I just wasted it. So that really struck me. It really hurt me. So I was very sad. So I knew I cannot do this again. So I was very serious, and I knew this time I know consistency is very, very important. So
Mm.
this whole 8 to 9 months, the one important thing I learned is consistency. It's very, very, very important. One thing, and the second thing was I have to start reading newspaper, because once I start reading newspaper, these 4 sections are covered, and also once I get into the habit, I'll also take lesser time to cover it. So that
Right.
will be an advantage also. So I
Mm.
remember I had this bean bag, so I used to sit in the bean bag. I'll take this newspaper. I'll be like resting. I'll be reading. In the early days, I think I read every news except this local and state ones. I read everything. So
Mm.
I was
And
in.
how many newspapers would you read?
I just one Hindu, just one
Okay,
Hindu.
only one paper.
Only
But
one
but but
paper.
the critical thing is you are consistent every day without fail. You would read the newspaper.
I would say that I read a newspaper every day, but then I was consistent. Maybe a
Right.
few days I would have missed it. Obviously, maybe I was sick or I was down or something like that. But then I was pretty consistent. I won't say 100%, maybe 95. Yeah, obviously
Okay.
95%. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
I read newspaper very thoroughly. I started, obviously I used to feel so bad. When I started reading this editorial, I used to feel so angry because some topics are like they are not interesting. I used to feel angry at myself, but then you have to do it. So I started reading it. I was see since I'm a science student, I don't know what economics. I don't know the basic terms also. So I started reading the economics page, even though it is very like the real economics is not there in the paper. It's just the facts and all of that. But even then, I put in the effort, and also
So,
I
so,
don't know what.
so when you say started reading economics, what did you read? Did you read the finance page of the newspaper or something
Yeah,
else?
finance page. For economics,
So,
first I started reading the finance page, and then I understood this is not going to work. So what I did was I just googled the basic terminology of economics.
economics.
So that
Right.
was towards the second half of my preparation. I just
Okay.
I know how do we calculate GDP? What is GDP? What is
Right.
inflation? What is inflation? I just maybe if you ask me, I don't know what the definition is. But then if I read the definition, at least I'll have an idea what they are
Right.
speaking
Mm.
about. So that was one thing. And I'm not interested in sports. I don't know any rules of football, cricket, or anything. So I knew if something about that comes again, I'm going to be stuck. So I started reading the sports page also. So sometimes
Right.
not some people just give you the scores, what, and they move
Right.
on. But then there is the specific section that doesn't happen every day. But then this person analyzes what happened in that
Okay.
day's match and what happened
Mm.
earlier. So
Mm.
actually, I could sense that passion in him when he used to compare these incidents of cricket and all of that. So I started
Right.
reading that also, so that I'll
Mm.
get into I'll at least know what this person is like meaning. Obviously, in the first two times, I did not understand anything, but then I
Mhm.
started reading it consistently. I started doing it, and then I got an idea what he's speaking. Maybe not completely, but then even I just know what this person is trying to say.
So,
So
so at
that's
least
one.
you'll be a bit familiar, and if something
Yes.
concerning sports come, at least you will not be at sea.
Yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
yeah, so this thing was done, and
Mm.
yeah, then I was very interested. I then After 1 2 months, I was like, I just love reading newspaper. I used
Mhm.
to enjoy it because first of all, I'll be relaxed, I'll be having this thing, I'll have a pen, so I'll circle the words whose meaning which
Mhm.
I don't know the meaning, then I'll circle them. If there is one important point that I should note, I'll underline them. So
Mm.
I'll sit with it. Sometimes I'll sit with a timer also, so that I can just improve my speed. Not always, but sometimes. So
Mm.
I used to do all these things. Then it became a habit, but it's very interesting. Actually, then what happens is that you don't need to remember these facts. So
That's right.
if someone is commenting on it, then you remember the comment and you remember the facts. Sometimes if you just read it from GK Today or something, you have to by heart it. But here,
That's right.
yeah, because I remember even in those small silly topics, even though if there is no probability of that coming as a passage in CLAT, but even then you remember it sometimes, because if I have read it properly, and even if it's a very like normal question which is like
Yes.
not probable to come, but then I remember it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely right, Shweta. In fact, this is one of the things that many students miss out. In fact, just to highlight a couple of things which you said that your four section got prepared to a great extent because of newspaper.
Newspaper,
So
yes.
something which everyone gets on a daily basis at home is something which is ignored by a large number of students, and it is not only you; it is all the toppers have consistently been saying newspapers was an important role, played an
Yes.
important role.
Yes.
Okay. Second thing which I find very very interesting, you identified your gaps. That
Yes.
okay, sports is an issue, economics I don't understand. Let me get into that and understand it.
Yes.
Okay. So okay, so back to you, Shweta.
Yeah. Huh. So I started reading newspaper. That's one thing. and then I started making GK notes. So I was like last time I was inconsistent with GK, and I had this random digital notes which was not working for me. So I understood that digital notes they are not working for me. So I have to make this handwritten note. So if I have to make that interesting, so I have to like write it beautifully. So something that interests me. So what I'll do is sometimes I'll write with ball pen. If that's tiring, then I'll take an ink pen and I'll write very. Even though slowly, I'll enjoy doing it. At least I'm not bored, or then I won't like put it at the middle, and I won't walk away from there. I'll complete it at least, so that because I enjoy doing it. Sometimes even when I go through my notes, I'm like, why did I beautify this so much? I would have taken a lot of time, but then I'll sit, I'll beautify it, I'll write it very slowly, clearly, line by line, so that I enjoy it. But at the same time, I don't get bored. I don't get bored, and my
And
work is also done.
also, that was relaxation for you,
Yeah,
because
relaxation,
while you were
exactly.
studying, you were also relaxing, and
Yeah, yeah,
from
exactly.
the daily routine of only studies, this becomes
Yeah.
a very interesting distraction.
Yes.
Okay,
So,
okay.
but and one thing I think this time it was lucky for me because when I was revising my old GK notes in the last 2 weeks, I was angry at myself because I had these two, four, three notes, and then I had a lot of notes written on this simple topics, and I was like, who writes note on these topics? Because they are surely not going to come as a passage for CLAT. So I was
Hmm.
reading this Gandhi Peace Prize, and I was like, who is going to ask this in this like no, this question is not going to come. And
Hmm.
suddenly this question came in CLAT, and this Tunisia, I just read. Obviously, I did not know his name, so
Hmm.
while I was revising, I saw this name Tunisia, and then the question came in like, who is the first winner of Gandhi Peace Prize? And there was this word Tunisia. I was like, thank God, I did this. Yeah, because like I was so angry at myself because I was unable to complete it. I thought I'll complete revision 2 or 3 times, but then I couldn't do that much because there was a lot. I was taking a lot of time because I'm a person who takes a lot of time to grasp things and understand it and all of that. So I couldn't do as much as I wanted, but then I was very angry. But then it played in my favor.
But you said you are lucky. I have always maintained that luck is the final 0.2%. The 99.8%
Yes.
you have done, which is
Huh.
why otherwise many people would have missed that thing. Na?
Yes. Yes.
So that hard work is always going to be useful
Mm.
somewhere or the other. So
Yes.
one of the questions I have for you is, in the first attempt, you did not take mocks or did not analyze. Now
Mm.
in the second attempt, when did you start taking mocks?
Um, I think I remember my first mock in this second year this preparation 2021 preparation was AI CL ka AIOM um,
Mhm.
second All India mock, I guess.
Okay,
And
All India Open Mock 2.
two,
Mhm.
yeah, I
Yeah.
started from there, and in the beginning I was not very consistent. I had a like huge
What
gap.
was your score in that paper?
I think it was something around 84, 84, 88
Around
something.
84.
Huh.
Okay, around
Yeah.
85 what we can take.
Maybe, yeah,
Now,
around.
what month was this All India Open Mock 2, if you remember?
I think, yeah, I think October or November.
October.
I think.
Yeah,
Huh.
so that means virtually from the beginning of your preparation, you started taking mocks
Yeah, yeah.
almost.
I
Hmm.
think yes, yes.
Yes.
Huh. But in the beginning,
And yeah,
yes,
and did you this time start analyzing the papers?
yes, yes. That's what I
So
started.
what kind of analysis did you do this time?
Yeah, I was, I
Because
knew.
I'm asking that specifically because many students take a paper, check their answer score, and then throw away the paper. I
Yes,
want you to talk to the to your juniors as to what is it they should do with the mock so that it becomes useful.
yes. So analyzing again, like newspaper, I did not like analyzing. That is why I did not analyze in the first year. But
Hmm.
then again, like newspaper, I started enjoying. I enjoy analyzing so much that even if I got a passage which is very interesting, and even if I get 5 questions wrong, and if I'm going back to this passage, I'm like, wow, इसमें तो मजा आएगा analyze करने में because I'm going to get something new. Because some questions are very twisted, and I would not have read that logic anywhere. So
Hmm.
suddenly, when I read that logic, I don't know why, but I become happy because I enjoy learning. I don't know why I enjoy learning about them or knowing about them, but then I started enjoying the process of analyzing. So I remember I took a lot of time for analyzing this first mock of mine. So this All India mock two. So I
Hmm.
remember taking a book and I wrote my scores. I like made a handmade scorecard, and then I knew I have to do it section wise, and even if I take one day, I'm going to do it because that was the mistake I did last year, so I have to like pay back.
Hmm.
So I
So
went.
just to interrupt, So you're saying your analysis will be a long process. It is not going to be over in 15, 20 minutes or half an hour. It is going to be 4
Obviously,
to
yes.
6 hours or more.
In the early days, it is obviously 4 to 6 hours. And for
Okay.
me, if it is a tough mock, it is 4 to 6 hours. And
Okay.
and if it's an easy mock, and then it's fine, because if you don't have to analyze
Yeah.
and you have to get into that zone where you have to understand the logic, then it's okay. Some
So,
questions
so
are very
typically
straightforward.
typically a 2 hour paper would take you, let's say, on an average about 3.5 to 4 hours to do a thorough
Obviously,
analysis.
yes, yes, yes.
So,
Again, I
so,
take time
so,
to grasp.
so, so if you take a paper today, on a given day, you take a paper, you would analyze it on the same day?
No, 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 no.
No.
I'll be very tired after a mock. You are like putting
Yes.
everything into this mock, and you're very tired. So you
Right.
cannot analyze it on the
So
same day.
next day you would analyze.
Yes, next
So,
day.
so
Again,
2 hours paper today means 4 hours of analysis. You should be prepared
yes,
for it
yes,
next day.
yes.
Okay.
It
Great.
it has to be done. So, but as I said, I think I took a whole day for analyzing this mock because I was very slow. I was analyzing each question. Sometimes even if I don't understand the explanation, I'll read it again. And if I don't understand, I'll go to the next question. Maybe come back and read it. So I slowly moved from one question to other. I noted down my doubts if I have, but then I'll go back and that will be solved. So it was a very long process. So I have this book where this first mock, I think I have made pointers like 2 to 3 pages. So I have a lot of pointers written. So this is something like this, there is a new logic like this, so this can
Right.
happen this way, and all of that. So I took like nearly one day. I remember that very properly because I was going through my this mock analysis book, and
Right.
I saw this and I was like, okay, I took this much time, I remember this. And
Mhm.
actually, when you go back to that mock, you remember, because I even remember the time when I was reading it. Because you have spent this much time, so they can connect it. So when I read this question, I know that day I was reading something like this and I know this was the logic, so it just clicks back, obviously. But then it was the first month. You cannot
Mhm.
afford a day for CLAT mock analysis throughout the year. So again, you
Mhm.
become efficient. You know what
Right.
to do, what to leave and what not to, everything.
So,
Yeah.
while the first paper analysis took you almost a day,
Yes.
slowly you started becoming better at analyzing the paper. And now, if you have to do analysis, let's say you are analyzing a paper 1 month ago, it would
Mhm.
take you maybe much lesser amount of time.
Yeah, actually, again, if it's very difficult and if I got a lot of wrong, then it will take more time. So if it's a
Right.
difficult paper, maybe, yeah, 6 hours it will take. And if not, then maybe it was an easy paper, then maybe 2, 3 hours.
Okay, ठीक है, perfect.
Hmm.
So all I want students to be clear is that they should be willing to spend time in analyzing the paper. What you have also said is doing the same question again, you are able to get something more out of it,
Yes,
and that revisiting the question was useful.
yes, yes, yes.
Right. Okay, great, great. Okay, okay. What else did you do in terms of preparation apart from taking mocks and analyzing? Any
Taking
specific
more.
area? So far it is newspapers,
Yes,
taking papers and analyzing in detail,
yes.
identifying problem areas, and once you identify this is a problem area, what is the next thing you do?
Again, work on those topics. If, yeah, that mock, there were some geometry questions. So I
Hmm.
understood that even now geometry is not strong. Even though I'm from a science background, I was good in math, but geometry is not like I'm not
Right.
comfortable with. So I'll
Hmm.
go back. Again in that paper I saw this. I wrote some important geometry equations over there, and
Right.
then that's one thing. And other, again, after mock analysis, you understand the time, know ki you have to spend less time over here. So again, if I understand that I should not have spent this much time, then understand ki my reading speed is less. I mean,
Right.
like reading speed, yeah. So I have to increase my speed. So I have
Right.
to work on that. And again, if some legal topics are like wrong, again I practiced a lot of old pattern legal questions. So
Right.
yeah, I practiced a lot because legal was not like, it was not my strong area in the beginning. It was not at all strong. But then I thought ki if I have to improve, then I have to like begin from the basics. So I started solving a lot of old pattern, principal fact like questions a lot.
Right.
Yeah, I'll do 20 questions. I remember there was a time when I did 20 questions every day. I'll do
Mhm.
it's confirmed that I'll do 20 questions every day. And I
Mhm.
started doing it like 3, 4 weeks, and I started loving legal. I love legal so much that
Actually, legal is the most interesting section of this
it's
paper.
very interesting. Yes, yes, because you have to think like that and like this. And again, if you get it wrong, I'm sure there will be some trick over here. So I'll get excited. See, again, there is something over here. So I get excited again. When I say I get excited, obviously first you see your scores less, you'll feel sad, but then you cannot do much, so you just go back, you feel excited, you see it, and again you feel excited. So
Right.
towards the end, actually I started loving legal, and I think I was scoring, my accuracy was also a bit better in legal. So
Right.
I started enjoying. So my legal was bad, I started solving the questions, it improved. That's one thing.
Mhm.
And my critical was, again, my reading sections were not very very strong. So my critical question section was also not very strong. So I started solving this LSAT GMAT questions, and again
Right.
I used to solve like again maybe like 25 questions per day, or sometimes if I'm very very low, then I'll try to solve 50 questions one day.
Mhm.
And again it takes a lot of time, because you
Mhm.
solve one question, you have to think, and because the difficulty level is so much, so
Right.
you have to think, you have to know where you went wrong, and you have to see the answer, why you chose this,
Right.
why this is the answer, why this is wrong, why this is correct. It takes a lot of time, but then I think it pays back.
Tell me one more thing, Shweta.
Yes,
First
sir.
time when you tried to do CLAT 11, 12, you tried to find people who were preparing, you could not. This time, were you preparing alone, or were there friends with you who were preparing also?
Yeah, I had a lot of friends, and we used to have this discussion group, and we used to sit together. We used to, again, we used to solve, we used to discuss GK, and again GK sometimes it becomes so factual that it becomes like difficult to remember. So we had this group where we'll prepare like one person will be giving us one topic. So there'll be, we were some five people, and five people will be giving
All
us
in Trivandrum or spread all over the country?
spread all over the country.
So it
Yeah.
was an online effort,
Yes,
obviously.
online effort. Yes. So I we enjoyed a lot actually. So it was, I think we started 9:30 10, and then it
Mhm.
goes up till 12 sometimes. And
Right.
so
Mhm.
so we pick up five topics, and we will decide that by afternoon, and then we'll prepare, and then we'll come, and either we'll discuss. Earlier we had this pattern of discussing the topic, and then we started asking questions. I think that's more
Right.
efficient. You take a topic and you say that maybe some topics like offer less questions, some topics have
Mhm.
the scope of making a lot of questions. So you
Right.
make questions, and then you have this turns, we'll ask question each other. So it's not a competition, but then you are asking, and they'll just
Mhm.
answer. So
Mhm.
we do that. So we ask
Mhm.
questions, we get, and before we also solve this GMAT LSAT questions. We'll
Right.
sit together, and we'll discuss the logic, why we went wrong, where did we go wrong,
Right.
and all of it. Yes, and that was
Right.
very helpful for me, because I was not that good in critical also.
Great. And tell me, I hope all your friends who are preparing along with you, that your core group, I hope all of them have been able to make it to a good got a good score.
Yes, yes.
That's
Actually,
great.
three of us are going to NLS now, and that's,
That's very good. That's very good.
yeah.
What are their ranks?
Like one of them got like 27 and
Mhm.
53, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Okay, 27 and 53. That's very,
Yes.
very positive. And I've always maintained GK as an area you prepare together, you discuss together, you ask each other questions, everyone will gain. Okay. Anyone, and you said your parents were also supportive. They did not say that you have to take a college or anything. They said, yes, you do what you want to do, put your.
Yeah.
So no
Yes, yes.
pressure from home also.
No, no. Actually, they were also writing this exam with me.
Acha.
Not only my father, father and mother, my sister, everyone are like, they are the best people I can ever have, because
So
they were
younger sister, elder
supportive.
sister.
Younger sister.
So
Younger
is she
sister.
also now going to get into law, or she has
No,
other
no,
plans?
she has a like medical. She's into medical
Right,
field.
right,
I am into medical field. So
right.
the my parents are like, just do what you want, because it was my father who said, okay, you have this law field, and then there is something called NLSIU, and that's the best college, and you should try to get into that. And I remember I had this chart in my home, like I in eighth standard, I guess there was this motivational speaker coming, and he said that you should have a goal, just make a goal chart, write it over there, and every time you see it, you will be reminded that you have to do it. So I was very ambitious. Okay, I was very very ambitious every time.
So
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 I
now,
like,
so
huh,
so now your NLS Bangalore hostel
yes.
chart, hostel wall will have a UPSC chart.
Yeah, maybe. But then what I did was I wrote my 10th I have to score this much percentage, and 12th I have to score this much percentage, and I have to reach an LSIU. But then I couldn't reach that aim of mine in my 10th and 12th. So I was very disheartened, because I have this chart in front of me. It has been here for years, and I couldn't achieve that first two targets of mine. So I was very sad, and I was like, there is no meaning in keeping this chart over here. People will come, just look at it and make fun of me. Maybe if they enter my room, and I just removed it and kept it there. And there was this college NLSIU written over it. So I was like, okay, I am not going to get into NLSIU because I wrote it over there and I did not get my first two aims. So this is also not going to happen. And when I just sit and introspect, I'm like, that really happened.
That's very interesting. So great, very, very, very nice talking to you, Shweta, and I hope the students who are watching this video, they will pick up, and especially the repeaters, and effectively what you're telling them is don't get disheartened. If you plan properly, if you identify errors, keep working on them, you will definitely make it. And in terms of one study material, which most students tend to miss out, which comes on at home daily, the newspaper is something which is essential for preparation for 4 out of the 5 areas, the 3 reading sections and GK. Okay. Okay. Great. Thank you very much, Shweta. Been nice talking to you. And congratulations once again and all the best for your career ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. All the best.